Hello, today I am going to discuss about the data types in Java. So first starts what are the topics going to discuss in this tutorial. What is data types? Then I am going to various data types in Java. Primitive data type, non-primitive, integer type of data, floating type of data, character type of data, and finally the Boolean type of data. So let's begin with what is data types. The big question in mind, what is data types? Now data types means you have to define the type of the data which is going to store in a variable. That means you have to define a variable with their type. That type may be short, int, long, float, etc. So let's begin with a chart. What are the various data types available in Java? Data types are categorized in two sections, primitive types and non-primitive types. In primitive types, there are two sections, numeric and non-numeric type. Numeric type also categorized into two different sections, integer and floating point, whereas non-numeric types are also categorized in two sections, character and boolean. In case of non-primitive types, there is three categories: classes, arrays, and the interfaces. Now let's move on to what is primitive types. Primitive types means the data type which is already defined for the programmer. That means the Java developer already defined for them. Primitive data types are also known as the basic data types. Those basic data types are int, float, double, char, boolean, etc. Suppose in a program, if you want to declare int x, that means x is a variable of integer type. That means we can store only an integer type of data into that variable. Now let's move on to non-primitive types. Non-primitive type means they are not the predefined data types. That means in a program, programmer should define those type of data like array, interface, classes. These non-primitive data types are also called reference data types. Now let's start with integer type, which is primitive type of data. Integer type of data means this type of variable can hold only the integer number. That means a whole number without the fractional parts. That number may be positive or negative, like 2, 3, 6, minus 10, 11, like that. There are four type of integer type data available in Java: byte, short, int, and long. Byte basically used for small numbers. Short is little bit bigger than the byte, but not like integer. Integer can store a long number because integer contains 4 bytes of data, and long data types are used for stores large number of data. Now starts with floating type of data. Floating type of data means the fractional data or real number we can store in a floating type of variable. That number may be positive and as well as negative. There is two types of floating type of data available. One is float, another is double. Float used for small range of data, whereas double used for wide range of values. Next is character type of data. Character type of data means the character, not the numbers or fractional number. We can store character in a character type of variable. The ASCII value is starting from 0 to 255. The full form of ASCII is American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So we can store any characters within range of 0 to 255 into a character variable. Other than this character variable, Java also supports the Unicode characters. that Unicode characters also can store in a character type variable, because in Java character is 2 bytes than the C. In C, C++ the character is 1 byte, but in case of Java it's 2 bytes. Let's move on to the next topic, which is Boolean type of data. The new type of data which is not available in C and as well as C++. This type of data only used for store true or false. Only true and false. Other than true and false, no data can be stored in a Boolean type of variable. This type of variable basically used for the logical conditions within the for loop, within the while loop, within the if else. We can use the Boolean type of data. This type of variable used for flag type of variables. Now these 3 points should be in mind. Character always enclosed in a single quotation, whereas string always enclosed in a double quotation, and Boolean types only for true and false without the quotation marks. Now let's move on to the charts. This chart describes the various data types with their size. In integer type of data, I am telling you that byte, short, int, long are the integer type of data. So in case of byte, it's only 8 bits, that is 1 byte. In short, it's 2 bytes, that is 16 bits. Int is 4 bytes, that is 32 bits, and long is 8 bytes, that is 64 bits. And floating type of data, that is 2 types of data, float and double. Float 4 bytes, that is 32 bits, and double are the 8 bytes, that is 64 bits. And in the third column there are the ranges for the various data types. Thank you.